We're joined now by CBS News legal analyst, that's Rikki Klieman at the table. Good day to have you here, Rikki. You know, we just heard it described as a legal and political reckoning. What stands out to you about these charges?
I think what stands out is that although the indictment is long, when you actually read it, it is narrowly tailored to fit these crimes. We have to remember that the January 6th committee, which referred this case to the Department of Justice some 7 months ago, had a monstrous amount of information. But what Jack Smith has brilliantly done is he's looked at the law, and what he has said is, let's see which facts go to which crime. I believe he's probably written his closing argument already. He knows where he's going.
The six co-conspirators are not named. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me because there's two good reasons for that. Number one is they know who they are, and so this may be just a little push toward any of the six to say, okay, I didn't name you, here's your chance, come on down, you can cooperate with me. And the other part of that is that sometimes you needed to get an indictment filed, in this case about Donald Trump, now, and you can indict those people later.
He's got this new case in Washington, the case down in Mar-a-Lago or in Florida that's set to be heard at some point, the hush money case here in Manhattan. We're waiting on a resolution in Georgia, out of Fulton County. You're somebody who's covered celebrity trials and big names like this for years. Have you ever seen anybody have to manage that many lawyers, that many cases? And if you're the attorney involved in one of these, how do you manage? How do you get his time and set that against all the other cases he's facing?
The difficulty we have is not only do you have, I'm going to count Georgia in, you have the potential for 4 different jurisdictions on the criminal side. We're not even talking yet about the civil side. And you have a campaign to run. And you have a very short period of time left. So the lawyers themselves do have reason to make motions for delay that are legitimate. The lawyers cannot be in 4 places at once. This isn't simply you go to trial on a trial date. You have motions to file. You have decisions to make. So are the judges going to hold the lawyers to the trial dates they've set? And what is this judge going to do? Because I would bet, at least if I were this judge, or if I were Jack Smith, neither of whom I am, that I would want this trial to go first. Because this is the most important. Because as a former prosecutor, let alone a defense lawyer, I would say, who's the victim here? And the victim is the American people and the civil rights of Americans to have that precious right to vote. Were they disenfranchised? This one should go first. However, you've got a backlog of January 6th defendants right now in Washington. Also, one other thing, keep in mind, Georgia's case is going to be a mirror of this. So maybe Georgia wants to go first.
Just real quick, Rikki, do we expect that he will show up before the judge tomorrow in court?
Well, I think you can ask John Lauro that since he's going to be on your air. But I would expect that he will show up tomorrow. And I think there's good reason for that. As we know, he's able to fundraise off of these appearances.
All right, Rikki Klieman, thank you.